Hey Anti-Guru friends, John here, back with another Anti-Guru video, and I'm not going to give the normal call to action to like, subscribe, comment and all that BS because in all honesty you're watching, so if you want to do any of that then please do it. If you don't but you just enjoy these videos, then leave me a comment, because actually it's the comments that I read, it's the comments that I answer, it's the comments that I like. If you think I'm talking absolute bollocks, then please tell me, because at the end of the day I can only get it right if I get it wrong. Now I'm going to talk a little bit today about passive income strategies, and what I'm going to talk about there is what the gurus are telling you and then the way I see it. Now these are my own views, my own thoughts and my own research, so just take it as read that this is the opinion of one town planner in a beach hut somewhere on the south coast. So here's the thing. Passive. What does that mean? Well, passive means that you're not doing anything, or you're doing very little in order to generate the income. I was having a look at online at some of the examples of passive income strategies that are out there in the world, and we have things like stocks and shares, peer-to-peer lending, rental properties where you're off-siting all of the management, and I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Off-siting all of the management is really critical. High yield savings is passive. I've got a high yield savings account for my youngest son. I've had it since before he was born, and that's earning income for him. That's the thing though. All of these strategies, and this website is one of many, lists 30 of them. What this website doesn't talk about is serviced accommodation. And why is that? Well, our old friend Mr. Parsnip, who's got his lovely course and all of that malarkey going on, is one of, I was counting about 30 gurus that are on YouTube that will come up when you type in, is serviced accommodation a passive property strategy? One of the biggest gurus on the marketplace, one who's currently in trouble, is saying, look, serviced accommodation is passive. And you know what? I've done SA. It's one of my secret sort of sidelines, as it were. Remember, planner, developer, educator, in that order. I've learned how to do things before I ended up doing them. So I've gone and done SA. I've tried it. And there's no way that is passive. And I'll explain why. Serviced accommodation, as I sort of spoke about in my last SA video, is not like a traditional buy-to-let. You don't rent it and then leave it with an estate agent, or leave it with an HMO agent and they fill it for you and do all the management. No, for most newbie investors, they are managing the property themselves. Now, for those managing the property themselves, what you're effectively doing, what you're signing up to be, is a hotel manager. Now, hotel manager is a job. Now, job, as people have seen, doesn't stand for just over broke. It's an important part of your life support mechanism. You all need to work. Money earned means you can go and do things like go on holidays and go on ski trips and buy a car or buy a boat or buy a Lamborghini or whatever else. You have to do something in order to do that. Now, people call that just over broke. I call that life support. If you want a lifestyle, you work for it, you earn it. It doesn't just transcend down and get bestowed upon you unless you're incredibly lucky and you get a whopping great inheritance. And even then, someone had to work for that. So serviced accommodation is a job. Now, I have clients who run SA. I've got a few of them. And they tell me horror stories. They'll tell me stories of the property that was rented on Airbnb that they had to go and get the police to because Neighbours had made a complaint because of noise and disturbance, because effectively the Airbnb was being turned into a drugs den or a knock-in shop or whatever else. Horror stories. One of my clients spends hours on sites dealing with bookings. Booking.com, Airbnb, spare room, filling the rooms, because it takes work. And that's the thing about business. Business needs people in order to drive it forward. Our planning consultancy wouldn't go anywhere without the planners inside it driving it forward. That's the thing. So there is no such thing as passive serviced accommodation unless you get to a stage where you're not investing in your own property, where you're actually investing in someone else's through crowdfunding or similar. But then the development opportunity is not serviced accommodation, is it? It's property speculation. It is lending money to someone else for them to go and do all the work. You're off-siting all that work to someone else. And in reality, do we ever get there quickly? The answer is no. Even when I've tried to set up that kind of deal, buying an HMO or buying this or buying that, the person who is lending the money typically wants an active part, typically doesn't want to be passive, wants to be active in the development opportunity that presents itself. So people of the serviced accommodation world, before you go on another boot camp or before you go on another course, and there are hundreds, I mean seriously, there were absolute hundreds, maximize profit on serviced accommodation, become financially free from serviced accommodation. Really? Just become tied down to effectively another job. There are even services on here that will set up serviced accommodation for you and then hand it over. Well, okay, but you're basically just setting up a business. It's a business startup service, and then you're handing it over to someone else to actually run that business for you. Now, property investment is not passive. Investing in property is not passive. It is active. Even the property investors I work with are active. They are hunting, they're looking for deals, they're doing something, because it is an earned income. It is not income bestowed, it is income earned. Even the act of lending money is income invested, and you have to do some due diligence, you have to do some work in order to make that happen. Nothing is passive. I think this passive income thing is a fallacy, personally. Having ran HMOs, having ran SA, working through development opportunities right now, I think that there is no such thing as passive income. I think that's a guru word, a buzzword to get you in through the door. That's the hook that they get you with to try and get you in the boat. And once you're in the boat, you're away with them. And actually, you're then asking the question, well, why? Why did I sign up to this course in the first place? Now, I don't want anyone to think I'm anti-property development. I'm not. I've spent my entire career doing it because I'm a planning consultant. That's what I do. I just want people to go in with their eyes wide open. There is no magic bullet. You have to work for it. You have to do something in order to be able to generate the return. For passive income, just replace that with capital appreciation, or replace that with return on investment. If you replace it with those words, I think you get a much better definition of what it is. And certainly it's a much better way of dealing with the likes of my good friend, Mr. Parsnip. Have a great day, everyone. See you on the next one. If you liked it, hit like, comment, subscribe. Comment, please, because I put so much effort into producing these videos. We've done over 40 now since the start of the lockdown, since I created the studio inside the beach hut, and I hope you're enjoying them as much as I'm enjoying making them. And I'll see you on the next one. Have a good day.